Welcome to Movie Film. I'm Carl and I just watched Coming to America, the sequel to Coming to America. Yes, the long-awaited sequel, over 30 years in the making, kind of, to the comedy classic Coming to America is finally here on Amazon Prime. Now, when I initially heard about this movie, my initial thought was, okay, let's see how this goes. And then the more I thought about it, I was like, it's guaranteed to be a build-up to a letdown. So my expectations were really low going into this one. In previous years, we've seen a lot of films get sequels many years after the original film, and all those sequels being terrible. Some of them being beyond terrible. I'm thinking Zoolander here. First one was hilarious. Second one, worst piece of shit I've ever seen in cinema, ever. And this could always just be another cash grab. But Eddie Murphy himself went on record of saying he was not going to release this film until he was 100% happy with it. And of course, Eddie Murphy, you know, he's never done a bad movie. And I gotta say, maybe it's because I went in with low expectations, but I love this movie. I think they've done a fantastic job with the sequel. This movie, it's not gonna blow your mind. It's not the funniest movie of all time, and it's not an award-winning movie, but it is a damn good movie, in my opinion. Now maybe, as I stated already, I've already been let down by so many sequels in the past. I just expected this to be so bad, but it actually does a really good job, in my opinion, of paying respect to the original film. You can see Eddie Murphy, you know, this was a passion project for him. He wanted to get everything right, and this movie, it's got its funny moments. It's got an original story. It's not like some sequels do where they just try to rehash the same story from the original one in a slightly different way. In some aspects, they kind of have elements of that and throwbacks to that, but for the most part, it's got its own story. It's got callbacks to the original. It's got a lot of original characters. It's got some musical performances in there if that's their thing, and it's actually got some funny moments in it. Now, it's not like belly laughs. You're not going to be falling on the floor laughing, and I don't think it's as funny as the original, but for a sequel, pretty damn good. For a comedy sequel, pretty damn good, and that in itself is pretty rare nowadays. You know, in the last like 10-15 years, sequels to comedies haven't been great, and this one, it's a good movie. Is it a spectacular movie? Is it one of the greatest movies of all time? Of course not. But I think this movie is a very, very enjoyable movie, and as I say, maybe that's just because my expectations were so low going into this one. But it's got all the characters you remember from this one, and of course, a fantastic, this might be a spoiler, but a fantastic cameo performance right at the end from everyone's favorite singer, Randy Watson, Sexual Chocolate himself. And I will say, I did burst out laughing at that part because they built that part up so well, that scene in particular. It was really funny. And even the barbershop guys, even though you have to question, how are they still alive? Like 30 years later, they were like ancient back in the 80s and they're still ancient now. But it's a comedy movie not to be taken too seriously. Some great performances in there as well, not just from Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall. Leslie Jones, I think, for a large part, steals the show. She's hilarious in this movie. And if you're on the fence about whether you want to watch Coming to America, the second one, not the first one. If you're on the fence about watching the sequel to Coming to America, which is also called Coming to America, I'd highly recommend checking it out. I don't think you'll be too disappointed unless you're expecting a Citizen Kane level movie. And the interesting thing is that within the space of a year, Eddie Murphy seems to have found his passion for making movies again. But last year, or maybe the year before, Dolomite Is My Name came out on Netflix, an Eddie Murphy movie, which I personally loved. I thought it was fantastic. Eddie Murphy's best movie in years. And we know Eddie Murphy's done some terrible movies down the years. His 80s movies were fantastic. Coming to America in particular was fantastic. And they did a lot of crap like Haunted Mansion and 1,000 Words and stuff like that. You could tell he enjoyed making Dolomite, and you can really tell that this was a passion project for Eddie Murphy that he wanted to get right, and I think he did. Coming to America is a good movie, and Coming to America is also a good movie. So getting to the rating, what would I give this movie out of 10? Easily a 7 out of 10 movie. As I say, not the greatest movie ever made, not the greatest comedy ever made, perhaps not even on the level of the original film, but a damn good, enjoyable movie. And I'd highly recommend checking out Coming to America on Amazon. Of course, maybe you disagree with me, and if you do, let me know in the comments below. And of course, if this is your first time checking out this channel, seeing this fantastic face, and you want to see more, there's a video right over here for you to check out. And of course, if you like what you see, hit that subscribe button for new content every Wednesday and Friday. And with all that out of the way, thank you so much for watching.